Rebuttal to Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's June 4, 2025 interview. When Myth Meets Microphone, Unpacking the Empire's Echo Chamber. Roast, Reality Check, Verdict, The Empire's Naked Truth. Section 1. National Identity, Ethiopianness or Empire Cosplay? Prime Minister Abiy's fairy tale, Ethiopianness is an inclusive, evolving identity built on unity and shared history. Reality check, that so-called Ethiopianness is nothing but colonial cosplay stitched together after Menelik's blood-soaked conquest. A fabricated identity barely 100 years old is now paraded as an eternal civilization. Before the 20th century, there was no such unified Ethiopia, just sovereign nations conquered and renamed for imperial glory. Roast verdict, you can't unite people by covering up their blood off your myth. Claiming 3,000 years of Aksumite glory while ignoring Oromo, Sidama, Somali, and other civilizations is like building a house on stolen land and calling it your ancestral home. Until truth replaces mythology, the blood will keep flowing. Section 2, Historical Legacy, Kush buried, Abyssinia glorified. Prime Minister Abiy's propaganda line, Ethiopia's long civilizational heritage, churches, Aksum, and Solomonic legend, unites us. Preserving it strengthens national identity. Reality check, enter the second kingdom of Kush. Before there was Aksum, before the Solomonic fan fiction, before anyone in the highlands ever mentioned Ethiopia, there was Kush. Yes, the second kingdom of Kush, circa 800 BCE to 350 CE, a black African superpower centered in Meroe, was building pyramids, writing scripts, Meroitic, trading with the world, and producing queens that led armies, while the Aksumite scribes were still learning to scratch Ge-easy and to rock. But you wouldn't know this if you swallowed Ethiopia's state-fed history. The national narrative airbrushes Kush out of existence, because Kush, unlike Aksum, didn't serve the empire's agenda. It wasn't Abyssinian. It wasn't Tawahedo, for example, the Kebra Nagast. It wasn't conqueror-friendly. So it got deleted. The 3,000-year myth is a joke. Abiy's narrative hijacks the ancient legacy of civilizations like Kush and slaps it onto a violent empire barely 140 years old. That's like stealing a neighbor's grandfather's war medal and using it to justify your home invasion. The real truth? What we call Ethiopia today was stitched together after the 19th century through Menelik II's brutal wars of conquest, not through peaceful civilizational growth. That state was renamed from Abyssinia to Ethiopia in 1931, desperately trying to retrofit itself into the biblical legends of Kush to gain legitimacy. Historical glorification equals systemic erasure, celebrating Menelik's expansion while ignoring the Kushite legacy, the Gada'a system, the Harari Emirate, or the Sidama kingdoms is not history. It's ideological theft. It's using selective memory as a weapon, glorifying those who colonized, while burying those who resisted or simply didn't fit the imperial frame. Roast verdict, Ethiopia's official memory acts like a spotlight, it only shines where the empire wants you to look. Everything else, including Kush, is forced into the shadows. The legacy of black African civilizations like Kush, which predate Aksum and outshine it in complexity, is deliberately sidelined because it challenges the state's monopoly on history. Section 3. Democracy, Performance Art of the Dictator. PM Stage Play, Ethiopia is democratizing, slowly, but surely. Reality check, democracy in Oromia and Amharic-speaking zonal areas? That's martial law in local language. Command posts replace local governments. Journalists disappear faster than electricity in rural Kabyles. Political opponents rot in jail while Abiy tours the world quoting Mandela. Roast verdict, you can't spell inclusive democracy with a vocabulary of state violence and censorship. A dictator quoting Gandhi is still a dictator. What you call reform is just repression in a new outfit. Section 4. Development, mega projects or mega lies? PM sales pitch, we're building the future, Gert, roads, energy for all. Reality check, those mega projects are just monuments to imperial centralization. Try telling a displaced Oromo farmer or a starving Amharic-speaking child about digital banking. These projects feed the center while conflict zones rot. Roast verdict, you don't develop a country by building dams on graves and highways through villages burnt by your army. No justice equals no peace equals no progress. Section 5. Governance and security, military in suits. PM's mantra, governance is local, accountable, participatory. Reality check, Oromia and Amharic-speaking zonal areas are governed by guns and fear. Worried as are extension cords of the federal army. The Cabal chairman's power ends where the colonel's boots begin. Civic engagement? Arrested. Organizing? Outlawed. Roast verdict: you can't claim peace while burning villages. This is not state building, this is empire maintenance, by bayonet and bulldozer. Section 6. Global models: Singapore dreams, Fin's nightmares. PM's global ambition: will be the next South Korea or Singapore. Reality check: they had post-war unity. You have post-election war. They had institutions. You have command posts. They had visionary reformers. You have an emperor in Nobel's clothing. Instead of digital growth, your people get internet blackouts and Chinese spyware. Roast verdict: you can't copy Singapore with a Stalinist toolbox. You don't become Korea by silencing your diaspora and censoring your own people. You can't digitize a dictatorship into modernity. Final message: Empire Ethiopia, time's up. The delusion: Abiy dreams of healing Ethiopia through unity, legacy, reform, and development. The reality: what he's really doing is embalming a dying empire with PR, myth, and military muscle. The verdict: you can't unify a nation by denying its past. You can't govern with myth while people are buried in reality. You can't build peace on lies and prisons. Ethiopia is not at a crossroads, it's at a cliff. One path leads to freedom through truth and justice. The other continues the free fall of empire built on fantasy, myth, and forgotten corpses. Final message to the empire: your 3,000-year lie can't save you now. The Oromo remembers. The Agu remembers, the Kemet remembers, the Somali remembers. The Sidama remembers. Your empire was forged in atrocities, and atrocities remembers. Until you stop forcing fiction down over 130 million throats, the hunger for justice will devour your system because let's be honest, if Ethiopia had a memory card, it would be 95% Abyssinia, 5% Wi-Fi signal lost. You can't delete Kush and expect a software update called Unity to fix your imperial glitch. Share this before someone at the Ministry of Mythology decides to rewrite your family tree too. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, like you just found the Empire's browser history and it's spicy.